You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network and the John Fredericks Radio app. Thanks for being with us. I am your Godzilla of the truth in America, your oracle of the deplorables. Thanks for being with us, as always, trucking the truth across America. The Godzilla John Fredericks Open America Road Tour continues today. We're in New Jersey. We'll be here through Friday, the next 3 days at the Jersey Shore, which Governor Phil Murphy has shut down, and he's putting people out of business left and right. That's what he does. This guy is a dictatorial, maniacal governor, worse than ours is. It's great to have everybody with us today. Thanks for joining us. We got a few business owners. I am live right now. I'll be here for 2 days at the Cape May Courthouse in New Jersey at the beautiful Doctor's Inn Bed and Breakfast. First of all, it's historic. It was built in 1854. The owner's with us, Lorraine Nichols. She'll be joining us momentarily. Her husband, who passed, it was his dream to have this here. It's just a few miles inland. If you're ever in the Cape May area, you really got to check this out. This is a fantastic place. I had the 3-room suite last evening. It's just gorgeous. The atmosphere, the rustic. When I got up, the sun starting to come in as I got out of the shower at about 5:45 a.m. Beautiful view. Got a balcony. Just a fabulous place. You got to check this out. The Doctor's Inn in Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. Lorraine. We got a few business owners with us here in New Jersey, in Cape May, where we'll be for 2 days. Then we're going to Monmouth County, Spring Lake, at a cleaners owned by Tony Angelini. She invited us there at her cleaners, which is on the brink of bankruptcy because of your whack job governor. Joining us now, we have two guests. Lorraine Nichols is the owner of the Doctor's Inn here in Cape May County, and Ben Scola from Scola BYOB. Ben, Lorraine, great to have you both.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
So, Ben, let's start with you, Ben. Tell us about your business. What is Scola BYOB? Where is it? Tell me about it.
We've got a very small restaurant. We've got some outdoor seating that we're very excited to use. As soon as we get permission from the state, we'd be happy to get back to work. I know many other local business owners. They look forward to the summer. This area is built around the summer, local tourism, things of that nature, and we're excited to get back to it whenever that is. I think it's frustrating not knowing when, not having a date. We're kind of waiting on our bended knee here, waiting for the opportunity to get back to work. We want to work. That's what it's all about.
How long can you survive, Ben, under this lockdown situation?
I think everybody's feeling the pressure right now. I mean, that's just it, uncertainty. If you can plan around a date or have some form of a timeline that we can work with, that doesn't seem to be the case. And I think a lot of people don't really understand the restaurant business as it works. You're paying bills from last week with today's money. And when it doesn't come in, it certainly it makes things a lot more difficult to plan for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little about what your view here is of this governor, why this lockdown is continuing, which is just hammering small businesses.
Well, business is a 24-hour, restaurant business is a 24-hour commitment. Without even touching on politics, it doesn't make any sense as to why we're quarantining the entire country. Generally it's been the people who are sick, who, you take that upon yourself, individual freedom, exercise it, allow yourself the opportunity to take care of yourself if you're sick, and if you're not, last I checked, America loves to go to work. You know what I mean? We want to be able to work. We want to be able to provide for our families. My wife's 7 and 3 weeks pregnant, so we got to get back to work and put food on the table.
What kind of hope do you have here? I mean, the governor, is he gonna open the beach up? Is he gonna let people come into your restaurant? Are you gonna be able to go to 50% capacity? What's the plan?
Well, that's just it. We're wondering the same. We've tried to pay attention to some form of briefings, whether they happen or not. This is certainly unprecedented. We should be allowed the opportunity, as many other businesses in the area. It seems to be a bit of picking and choosing who wants to do what. And, at the end of the day, if there are people out there who believe they're of sound body to come in and have an experience, we're willing to take any precaution necessary to allow safety for people to come in and enjoy their time, spend their dollars in Cape May County. we're ready for them.
In the meantime, he's got you locked out. I mean, it was bizarre for me. I wanted to come here because this is where your congressman wanted to come, and Cape May, Jeff Van Drew, now he's in D.C., he's got to call in tomorrow. But we spent 2 days trying to find a place, and we were calling up everybody. Everything was closed in Cape May. Everything up to Wildwood, everything we called was closed until my wife stumbled upon the Doctor's Inn, which is why we're here today. So we're a little bit inland, but I guess the question is, what's the difference if you're on the beach or you're 10 miles inland? What exactly is the difference?
Well, I think, to a small degree on that point, Cape May Courthouse does have a less seasonal aspect than perhaps some of those shore points, Cape May, Stone Harbor, Avalon, Sea Isle, where it is so heavily dependent upon the beach. We have a bit of infrastructure here inland. Courthouse has the hospital, a doctor's office, courts, police and fire year-round. So there is a community, and those people do have to eat. They do have to go to the hospital, as Lorraine will tell you. And at the end of the day, we're all American. We all want to work. We all want to have the opportunity of individual freedom and choice to do what we feel is best, exercise those freedoms that we all learned about growing up in school. So this isn't something I recognize. This isn't something I have an answer for. But patience to a degree is running out. We want to get back to work. We want to have the opportunity to run our businesses as we see fit, and to take that into a guessing and waiting game relative to when people decide it is safe. When I see certainly other situations at other businesses in other states, it's a bit of a head scratcher, John.
Ben, what originally inspired you to start your own business?
It's what the American dream is all about. I think when you have the opportunity to choose where and what you'd like to do as a form of providing for your family, advancing yourself, and putting your best foot forward, that's what the American dream is all about, allowing yourself the ability to put yourself out in the community. I've got a small motto: you love people, they'll love you back. And right now we don't have the opportunity to show the people who we are, as well as being in an area that is dependent on tourism. We have a lot of people coming from a variety of the tri-state areas: D.C., Philly, New York, even northern New Jersey. So to not be able to see those people, for those people to be wondering what and where and when they can leave their normal to get away and contribute to what is a vibrant economy, where we all have the opportunity to go and choose where we want to spend our time and our dollars.
Lorraine, tell me about the Doctor's Inn. When I came here last evening, beautiful location. You said you've been here for a 17-year period, but you've gone 3 months basically in this lockdown with no guests, no revenue. How do you survive in this environment, Lorraine?
Well, under the best circumstances, it's difficult. Being shut down, it's anxiety-filled. It's a lot of work normally, but this is making it so difficult because I can't plan, and that's all about planning. We have a short season, although we are open year-round, and I work at the hospital, and I supplement my income here. Luckily, I have something else to go to, and it's a great business. I love meeting the people. I love doing my job. It's just that not being able to do it is frustrating, and it's taken its toll. We were going to have a banner year for the business, the way the reservations were going, and then all of a sudden it was nothing. So it's been difficult. It's been difficult.
So you've been here 17 years. You've gone 3 months with no revenue. You don't have a lot of employees, so
No.
it wasn't like the PPP was going to
No.
bail you out like it did some firms. So you're basically now just working on accumulating debt
Yes.
and draining your savings. What is your message to this governor?
Well, let the people work. Like Ben said, we want to work. We're not looking for a handout. We're not looking for anybody to help us. We just want to be able to work. I feel we put a good product out here, and I feel that I can do a good job. Just give me the opportunity. Being closed down for 3 months it's been devastating. I don't know if I'll be able to recuperate from it. This was my retirement plan. My husband and I worked our entire lives for this place, hoping that we'd be able to retire with it. It's a nice job. We like to do this. Unfortunately, he passed away, and it's twice the work for me right now. And I don't mind doing the work, but under these circumstances, it's impossible.
What are, Ben, other business owners that you've talked to in Cape May? I know many of them in a similar situation. How long can they survive before the out of business bankruptcy signs start to go up?
Well, that's a challenge for anybody in these circumstances, is trying to delineate when exactly we're going to be able to have that opportunity to pay off bills. It's a bit of a tightrope between, having money to move forward, having the opportunity to eventually hire again. The employee labor pool at this point is quite a question mark. There's a lot of different challenges right now, and I think taking anything positive away from this is, if you believe, like Lorraine said, in what you do and the product you put out there, it's just a matter of time. And unfortunately, that's the frustrating part. There are people who can make decisions to move the ball forward, get us back to work, get things going again. And unfortunately, I think that's where most people are finding the greatest frustration, is not being allowed to do what they want to, what they love to do. And that is quite disheartening. So to those people, which we are included of, we say, continue to move forward, continue to wake up every day, try to have a routine as close as what you can, and eventually the rain will stop and the sun will come out again.
But you're not in charge of your own destiny as business owners. We all understand weather, we understand extenuating circumstances, but now you're fighting your own government. I mean, it's really bizarre. And I came here, I decided to come here at the last minute on my Open America tour when I heard Governor Phil Murphy the other day do two things. Number one, he said, well, I'm going to keep it locked down until we have a proven vaccine. I mean, this thing started to not overwhelm hospitals. Then it was flatten the curve. Now we've gone to a proven vaccine. Well, when did that be? 2025? Do you just all eat out of garbage cans? Then he turns around, he's got $1 billion deficit from shutting his entire state down, and now he doesn't have any money, and now he goes to Trump and he says, if I don't get $1 billion, I'm going to lay off fighters and police. I mean, what is going on with this guy? I mean, that's why I'm here. It's like, this is unbelievable to me that you could have an elected official, and then he says, they ask him, when are you going to open? And he says, when I'm ready. Like, no metrics, no numbers, just when he's ready, like he's the king. Unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
It's hard if you have a start date, if you have something to a goal, that would make it a lot
firm goal.
easier. Yes.
Even if it was, even if he said, 6-7, we're going to be open, hard open.
Yes.
6:15, you can. Okay, how can I get to 6:15? But his answer is, I don't know, whenever I feel like it. Well, it's fine for Phil Murphy because he's got the $500 million he made from Goldman Sachs by raping people and foreclosing on their homes in the 2008 crisis, like everybody at Goldman Sachs did. But for people like yourself, I mean, it's unbelievable to me that you're both sitting here today wondering if your business is going to survive based on an edict from a governor who's supposed to be representing the people.
Yeah, you can't close for every health emergency. You just can't do it. Countries don't work like that. Nobody could sustain this kind of uncertainty for this amount of time. It's very disheartening that we don't have a goal. We need something to strive for. Okay, June 1st, June 7th, June 8th, just give us a goal and we'll try to make it. I mean, there's a lot of people. I don't think you're going to recognize South Jersey after it does open up. I think a lot of people will not have the capability of sustaining themselves until they are open. They're just going to go out of business. I think that's going to be I don't think you're going to recognize the place.
Lorraine, you're right. Ben, I was driving up. I'm so glad you said that, Lorraine. I forgot to tell my wife Ann this. I was driving up, I guess, 13 that comes up through Maryland and Delaware from Virginia Beach. We go to Dover Downs a lot. So we've taken that drive many, many times. And we go through the Eastern Shore. So you go through the Virginia Eastern Shore and then the Maryland Eastern Shore. And it's, look, it's rural country, but there's a lot of mom and pops on the road. And we've passed them for years going from, Chesapeake where I live or Richmond up to Dover Downs. And not that, and I've stopped in probably a good number of them, not all of them, obviously, but you pass them, and so you recognize them. And what was shocking to me, Ben and Lorraine, is driving up yesterday afternoon while it was still light out through the Eastern Shore, the number of businesses locally owned that were out of business. I mean, it was surreal. These are places that I have passed because we go to Dover Downs. I have passed these places, 100 times, and they're open and they're vibrant. There's this place, Tammy and Joe's, which I've eaten at probably is one of my favorite places, a barbecue or something. It's about halfway home. It's on the Eastern Shore of Virginia Beach. I've eaten there probably 10 times. Right, closed, done, for sale, for rent, one after the other. That when I went to Dover Downs, the last time was probably February with Ann. They were all open. Now they're not only closed, but they're gone.
Right.
And then you think about in a rural area like that, Ben, how many jobs that is. I mean, that's hundreds of jobs for those people. There's nowhere else to go. And a lot of these places been there 10, 15, 20 years or whatever. And I don't think these governors that are closing these states down or requiring all this stuff because of these dictatorial powers really have any clue as to the havoc they're wreaking on society. They just have no clue. They're, I guess, a slave to their left-wing base. They all want to be, Joe Biden's Secretary of State or something. But it's scary, Ben.
Well, you raise an interesting point, John. I think, relative to business, we can look at metrics and numbers and charts. But unfortunately, small businesses are made up of people, their passions, their beliefs, their goals. Much like Lorraine, it's very inspiring to see someone fighting, pardon me, to stay in, to provide a service and an opportunity that is extraordinary. You've come to Cape May Courthouse, and we've got a beautiful little town you can walk through. Weather's fair most of the time. It's a beautiful place, and I'm going to be happy to raise a family here. We're in the process of doing so come July. It's been quite a time to welcome.
You got a baby coming and no income coming
it's
in.
it's
not the best spot to be in, Ben.
Well, certainly we didn't plan for this, and it doesn't sound like we're planning to get anything going, and that's the frustrating part. You see a lot of these people, they're moms and pops, and I'm never one to harp on big business, but certainly you see some of the larger box stores in the area, elbow to elbow in lines, and I think that's where a lot of the frustration grows, at least from the people I've been in contact in the community. It's, why can't we, do what we want to do relative to our business and the services we provide when you're seeing perhaps maybe a double standard. I'm pro-business all the way, and that's all the way up. I mean, we're happy to have some of these larger corporations in an area that is heavily based on tourism. Those businesses do provide job opportunity for some of the people in our community, and we're thankful for that. And we're not trying to take any food off anybody else's plate, but we certainly like our seat at the table. And as small business owners, perhaps we need to fight a little harder for that. We don't have the lobbyists, the CEOs, the board of directors to fight for us.
Yeah, well, you don't have the people at Goldman Sachs making billions of dollars off the backs of homeowners that got their home taken away. You don't have that. Ben Scola from Scola BYOB, along with Lorraine Nichols from the proprietor of the Doctor's Inn, where we're doing our show today. Look, if you've ever in the South Jersey area, the Delaware area, you got to check this out. It is in Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. The Doctor's Inn, built in 1854. This house was built by a Northern Union surgeon. And even though it's in South Jersey, of course, New Jersey, part of the, what do they call it in Virginia, the Northern Aggression or something of that nature. But it's been here since 1854. It's just a beautiful place. I stayed here last evening. I'm staying here again today. Everything, Lorraine, has been absolutely exquisite. My only regret is I didn't bring my family because it's so fantastic. All right, top of the hour news coming up. You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network. I am your Godzilla of the Truth in America,